We interviewed the voice of Wanshi from Punishing Grey Raven, Corey Wilder, and they had a lot to say. With the debut of his new frame, Lucid Dreamer, Wanshi now has even more voice lines to look forward to, and Corey is here to tell us what it was like to play everyone's favorite sleepy sniper.
I didn't slack off one bit.
Tell us about yourself and your career.
Yo! My name's Corey Wilder. I'm a 24-year-old actor turned voice actor 4 years ago.
How did you get into voice acting?
So, I used to do a lot of stage and film before jumping into the voice acting world. And what got me into it was two things. One was the Has-Been Hotel pilot. You know, I like that you can make your own series without A-list celebrities and animators. It felt like nice. It was nice and indie, and it got me attracted to it. And then the second reason, which is the most important one, was COVID happened. So all of the theaters and film sets were closed down, and, I needed to find a way to do acting again, which led me to voiceover, and now I'm here.
What types of voices or characters do you like to do?
The common ones I get that I like are the soft boys, the snarky lover, and the egotist.
Fine. You will be mine!
But ones that I dream of playing are over-the-top villains and even some kind of monster creature that I can shred my vocals with. I really, really, really want to do a monster creature.
Is there a specific work or role that strongly influenced your career as a voice actor?
Honestly, probably Micah from Era 143. I'd say that's the one that people know me the most from. That's the one that got most eyes on me. Like, it blew up like crazy, and it got #1 on the App Store.
My name? It's Micah Eugen.
It came with some good and some bad, but it was still very awesome to see all of that, interaction from the fans and everything.
How were you first introduced to PGR?
I was introduced thanks to the audition. I had never heard of PGR or seen anything of PGR until I looked at the audition. And then when I got the audition, I was like, okay, is there anything that I can find on this? So then I found videos and I looked up the characters and stuff to study them. And then that helped me kind of figure out what I needed to do to submit my lines better, Just understanding the character and then submitting the lines. But no, I had never knew of it before the audition.
What is the process of recording for PGR? Do you use characters' lines in other languages for reference?
Well, the process for recording is kind of like how you do for other voiceover projects. You usually hop in a booth, get on call with the director, and then just start acting. As for using character lines for reference, we don't really do that unless it's involved with a specific pose or movement of the character. So how for the poses they have the lips that are going up and down, or maybe they're moving and saying stuff. Those are usually the ones that we use references for, so I can try and match what's being shown on the screen.
It's recovering just fine. Do you want me to blow on your wound some more? However, it won't help you get better physically.
And all of the voice lines, the voice lines that don't have the movement, are just a me, Stephanie, and Kuro original.
I think we know each other well enough now for you to stand a little closer.
I guess that makes sense because in the Chinese version, every single language comes out at the same time. What sort of voice direction do you get for Wanshi? Do you get any lore information on Wanshi's story when recording his lines?
So I actually don't get much lore information for Wanshi. I'm given a description of the character and essentially where to keep his energy and tone for each of the lines. We usually make up scenarios in our head for why he would end up saying those lines, but I also happen to know a lot of the lore myself because I started to deep dive on his lore after I got cast, so I had a little bit of a leg up so that I could know what was going on.
What is your interpretation of Wanshi's character, and how did it influence his line delivery?
Oh, that's a good question. So, my interpretation of Wanshi's character is that he's a person who's experienced a lot of loss and betrayal in his life. And because of this, he acts like he's this jaded, sleepy, and doesn't really care about anybody or taking anything too seriously. But to me, at least, that seems like a facade. I feel like he cares about people more than anyone in Babylonia, And I mean, why else would he assist the Commandant in going out into the Red Tide to save the humans' homes from the Siren? And knowing this, I tried to make it where his lines had like a bit of complexity in them, where you could see like slimmers of the construct that deeply cares about others poking through. Stephanie also caught on to that and helped me refine it more so it was a lot more clear to the audience. And honestly, I can't thank her enough for her direction. It really helped out a lot.
When will the usually lazy and listless me get serious? Right now with you, I'm serious.
Do you get to add any of your own spin or input to Wanshu's line delivery?
Anytime you hear a yawn or a sigh or a grunt in a voice line that isn't done in the original language is all me, baby.
稍微想认真起来一下呢。I should become a little more serious.
I also sometimes like to make him a bit more sassy and soft boy because I'm 100% sure he's a brat. 100% sure.
Let's get this over with.
What do you like about voicing Wanshu?
I like how calm he is compared to a lot of characters I voice, which actually made him one of my hardest characters to voice. I'm a very theatrical person and have a musicality in the way I speak. So with Wanshi, I had to kind of kill all of that and be as plain as I possibly could. It was really, really hard. But I got it in the end. It was good.
Wanshu now has a new frame out. What was it like reprising your role for this new version of him? Were there any differences in how you delivered Hypnosis lines versus Lucid Dreamer's lines?
Oh man, it felt so awesome coming back to voice him. You know, when I first recorded for him, I was still trying to learn about how I wanted to voice him. So when I came back, it felt like a second chance to really nail him down. And the differences I made between the two is that I felt Lucid Dreamer was being more open with his true emotions compared to Hypnos. You know, he still tries to put a little bit of a facade on, but it's faltering because he believes that he isn't good enough no matter how much power he achieves. But luckily, Commandant and the rest of the constructs help strengthen him and keeps him moving. I wanted to add, a bit of hope and slight despair in these new lines he was given, while also still keeping a lot of what I did for Hypnos, since a lot of people liked that.
The lobby and affection lines assume that the character is talking to the Commandant, who stands in for the player. Do you picture Wanshu speaking to you when delivering those lines, or did you have someone specific in mind?
Okay, so, funny story. For the regular affection lines, I picture him speaking to just a random soldier in a mask that I deem as the Commandant.
It's mandatory sleep time. Good night.
But for the love or getting closer affection lines, I envision him talking to a bed.
If I get to have you both inside and outside my dreams, I'd be happy to go a bit further. Oh wait, or not.
Were there any funny or interesting moments while recording lines for PGR?
So I'm not sure if this is funny or interesting, but sometimes my eyes play tricks on me whenever I'm reading lines. So on occasion, whenever I was addressing the Commandant, the words would change to my love or love whenever I was reading.
Who else could it be? It's you, Commandant?
I'm not sure if this reads too much into my shipping nature, but I thought it was silly to share.
I hope at least a small fraction of players change their name to My Love in-game now. What do you think is the appeal of Wanshi as a character?
1, he's hot and ragged looking. And 2, I think people interpret him the same as me. Someone who is distant due to tragedy, but still wants to take care of you in the best way possible.
Which of Wanshu's lines left the greatest impression on you?
You matter because you are you.
And you matter to the end of your life.
Those are very wise words. You matter always, and make sure that you never forget that. I know Wanshu sure won't.
Who is your favorite character in PGR besides Wanshu, and why?
Alpha, hands down. I really appreciate the journey that Alpha has been on. From being a sort of mindless drone that only wanted one goal, to now breaking her shackles, wink, to find her own fate/destiny. I like characters with layers like that, and Alpha checks off my boxes beautifully.
I think a lot of people will be happy with that. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to enter the world of voice acting?
Yes, I'll lay it down in 3 rules. 1, don't be a dick. People talk in this industry, and if you wind up being some kind of jerk to people in your industry, then we 100% won't want you here. Don't be a dick. 2, put in the work and master your craft. Acting is one of the most competitive and hardest industries. You will be going up against 1,000 of your colleagues in friendly competition to see who gets a part, which means your acting needs to be A+. You need to understand your voice and what types you can play confidently, take workshops, or even personal coaching. And just know that even if you don't get cast, it's not the end of the world. The role is meant for you. We'll find you. I promise. Also 3, form genuine connections. This, kind of blends in with the being a dick/jerk part, but I've met a lot of people who just talk to others because of what they can offer them. Don't be that person. Make friends because you want to make friends. Not everyone will want to be your friend, but don't use them as a tool. Treat others how you want to be treated, okay?
That is some excellent advice. Thanks for taking the time to interview with us. Do you have socials or something you'd like to promote?
Nah. Thank you guys so much for the interview. That was fun. For socials, you can find me on these ones. For promotion, I'm gonna promote my Hyperfixations, Link Click, and Lazy Yules project, Herife. If you like time traveling stories with a bit of mystery, comedy, and suspense, Link Click is a show for you. It's very good. Alejandro, Zeno, Susie, and everyone a part of the dub, and even in the original language, do an amazing job. And the story is just really good. I love it so much. And if you like a soft boy alien space prince being exiled from his planet because of the sins of his ancestors, then you'll really love Herife. I really enjoy it because the character that I play, Lina, is very, very near and dear to my heart and one of my favorite characters that I've voiced. He has a lot of layers, and I enjoy the story and journey that he's going to go on. And I honestly can't wait for you guys to see it too. It's going to be great. Thank you guys again, Grave Raven team, and of course, hopefully, when it comes to global, you'll see me stream it. Check out my VTuber, Kamari Hypnos.
Was that awesome or what? Corey was an absolute delight to work with. Honestly, Wanshu's English dub made me appreciate the character so much more, so this was so cool to do.
1 shot, 1 kill.
But what's your favorite thing from this interview? And who should we think about interviewing next? Did you know that Wanshu's future frame, Lucid Dreamer, is actually obtainable for free? In fact, you can get him the exact same way that you get Alyssa Echo, who you can learn all about in this video.
Stop shaking me already! There! I got you. What was that? Here. I've got 1 candy left. Do you want it?